Welcome to CapeCodCAN Cook.
Healthy eating with the girls. Join us as we make healthy recipes.
It's amazing.
All right, so welcome to CapeCodCAN Cooks. Today we're going to make a couple recipes. The first is going to be an infused water. So we're going to start with that by cutting up lemon, cucumber, and some mint. And that's all going to go into our big vessel over there, and we'll add some water. The next thing we're going to do is our Asian salad. And we have this great recipe. This is from Beth Israel Deaconess Hospital. They put together a great cookbook. We picked this recipe last week. There's not a lot of cooking involved, but it's a very healthy recipe. The only thing we're going to cook are almonds and sesame seeds. So not too bad, right? So it's mostly chopping and then making the dressing. And I decided we should use a nice mason jar for our dressing because you can shake, shake, shake and get it all put together that way instead of whisking it because that's a little messy sometimes. So the first thing we're going to do is work on the water because it should seep and just stay there for steep for about a half an hour. So today we're going to work on lemons, cucumbers, and mint. And I set up a station for each of you over there. Does that work okay? Do you want to be that close, or do somebody want to come over here?
I'm okay right here.
All right, do you want to come over here, or do you want to be next to you? Okay, so come on over here. I'll get these big bowls, and we can put the fruit in the bowls. So with the lemons, you just want to roll them a little bit, because the rolling of the lemons is going to release the juice. So we'll start with a lemon. And these knives, they're kind of sharp, but not really. So you'll use the knife guard if you think that works. If not, just always turn your little fingers in and then cut down. And we're going to have slices of lemon that are going to go in the bowl. Then the whole thing will go over there. So let's see how this works. And I'll do one over here too. So if you want a demo, I'm going to start with my lemon just like this. I'm going to turn my little fingers in a little bit. I'm going to get rid of this part. And these are seedless lemons, which I think is super fun. So we don't have to pull out the little seeds. And then we're looking to put all this is organic material. We're going to put it into a bowl, and I'm going to take it home for my compost system. So in most places, compost is filling up the landfill, and we don't want that. We want to take it home and put it into our compost system. So I'll put this plate right here for the ends. Okay. I'm going to cut the other side like this. I'm going to get rid of it here. And then I'm just going to do slices just about this. This is like 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch. But just remember, watch your fingers. Either turn them in or use the knife guard. And then I'll collect all those. So you guys give it a whirl. Get rid of the little ends. The ends will go into our compost area here. Yep, get the juice going. And if you need the cucumber to move away, tell him to move away for now. Get away from me. Perfect. Good job. You have to get rid of the ends first. We'll take those home. And this on a nice hot summer day to have lemons and cucumbers and mint is very refreshing. Yep, so I cut that one again if you can, and you can cut it in any direction. It doesn't, straight down's perfect. We're just trying to get it into the big vessel. Nice. You can put all kinds of other things in there as well. Anything that you have growing in your garden is a nice infused water. I like cucumbers the best because it's supposed to be good for you. But you could put oranges, you could put limes, you could put anything. Nice. So, yep, we're going to put all of it in the white bowl. Yep. That goes, you're right, that goes in the compost. Well, we'll make this a compost bowl. How about that? And then we'll make this, put it into the water bowl. There we go. So that's going to be the good bowl over there. It's a little tricky, this counter. Nice. So let me see, I have 2 more. So how about each do 1 more? So we'll roll it, get the ends off, cut it up, and then we'll put them in. Oh, the bowl. Nice. Yep, you're right. I need to make a different color for the compost bowl should be green and the lemon bowl should be white. I'm getting confused. I know, because they're the same color. Perfect. What else could we put in the water? I'm trying to think what other. I have oregano at home. What is it? You gotta do
Watermelon.
Watermelon would be fantastic. And sometimes, and I'm going to show you this, you can freeze like a little area of water plus all your herbs into a container like this. So if you're going somewhere and you don't have access to ice, you pop the whole thing into your water container and then it'll melt. But it's really pretty to see it all full of your herbs and your lemons and your cucumbers, and it keeps it cold as well. Again, we talked last week a little bit about doing ice cube trays full of these types of things, which is a great thing to have in your freezer. You take that right out and also put that into your iced tea or into your lemonade, right? All right, good jobs on the lemon. So this is, we're gonna do our beautiful cucumber. So this cucumber is a seedless cucumber supposedly, so we'll see how that works. So again, the ends come off and go into our compost bowl. Perfect. And then slice it. Yep, that looks perfect to me. Just about 1/8 of an inch again. All we're doing is filling our infused water with delicious cucumber. And then we get to do the mint, which is my favorite. But I like the watermelon suggestion. You could do peaches, you could do nectarines.
Strawberries.
Strawberries would be so good. And you could freeze the strawberries and pop them in the water too, and that keeps your water nice and cold as well. I don't have a cucumber. Looks good over there. Some people have slices of cucumbers and they put them on their eyes. It's supposed to get rid of the bags on your eyes. I don't know if it's a wives' tale or not. I never put them on I never have time to put cucumbers on my eyes, I guess, but some people do. You're doing a great job. Very good. Sure. Nice. You're right to the end. So the end can go right in there. Nice. Again, we'll put it all in the white bowl. Move back here. Nice. Good job, Kate. Looks great. I had a job once, and we're going to do the mint next. And my whole job was to pick herbs, which means all I did was take the leaves off of herbs. That was a whole job because they used the herbs in like desserts, and they couldn't have any stems. So next will be our beautiful mint. So we talked about next week, we're going to have a little herb garden that we'll put together. If I put mint in your herb garden, the whole thing would turn into one big plant of mint. So we'll probably do, I think, maybe some dill, and we've got scallions, and I've got chives, and maybe even a baby tomato plant. I thought of maybe just a cherry tomato plant. So then you can use some of those herbs and plants right at your back door.
Nice.
That sounds good, right?
Yes.
Good. All right, nice. So this is the last step of our lovely infused water. This is mint, and you guys smell it. You know, part of being a chef is smelling, tasting. I mean, I love mint. But there's also something called chocolate mint that we have in one of the gardens as well. And it smells just like an Andy's little peppermint patty. They're so good.
Oh.
But this is just straight mint. So for this, we're just going to actually pull off each of the leaves. You don't need your knife at all. And then we'll pop that into our water and let it sit for a little bit. And then again, this is organic material. We're going to put it into our compost area. A lot of good stuff in there. But that's what I did one summer. I worked for a caterer, and all I did was pull leaves off of herb plants. And it was a lot of work. But what are you going to do? So we talked a little bit about lavender too, and at the end we're going to do This is a lavender syrup, and we talked about simple syrups as well, where you're going to boil sugar and water and then an herb of some sort, or even a botanical like this. So this is I found it at the old TJ Maxx, so we didn't have to make it. But we're going to make our own soda at the end too. So you use soda water. I know, right? So it's important to know what goes into your beverages. So, you know, if you can't pronounce something on the back of a soda can, you don't want to drink it. But it being able to have something that you know exactly what it is really important, because you want to have food in its most natural form. So having something like making your own soda would be super fun. I'm going to give you my mint. There you go. And that would be a good idea to use your watermelon and your strawberry too, because that would be something you could make your own soda with. Just smush it down a little bit. Looks good. What about those two little guys in the package? Are they worth saving, or is it time to say goodbye to them?
I think they look okay.
All right, then pop them in. It takes so long for a plant to grow, you hate to say goodbye. You want to save him. Good. I know, my pet peeve is about all the plastic that all this stuff comes in. So that's why when you have a garden, you don't have any of this at your house, because you go out with your basket and you harvest your herbs. All right, we can put all of that into the top of the vessel over there. And then if you want to put the water in, just pop this open.
Yes.
Is that too high or is that okay?
That's good.
Okay. And if we need another one of those, we'll fill it again. Nice. That's a good idea.
Do you want some help?
I do.
Okay.
Perfect. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? And then look at all this good stuff that's going to go home into my compost system. And if we put it into the trash, that's bad. It just doesn't help the world. And we want to help the world, right? So we just use this for a little bit of lemon. I'm going to take a quick wash of these and then put them out again. Actually, I can flip them right over. Just rinse these quickly. It's going to be delicious. So we'll have that when we taste our salad in about 20 minutes. You get it all? Good. Thanks. I'm going to give that a spin around.
I don't with my hands.
Sure. We've got it's right here too if you want to do it here. We might need another one of those, I think, too. Why don't we fill it up again?
Did I put the cover on the...
You can put it on just a little sideways, because if it goes on it, it makes a vacuum and nothing will come out. I learned that the hard way. People are like,
that.
oh, that's perfect. Yep, so let's just have that sit for a little bit. Doesn't it look pretty though? You know, that's all yummy stuff ready to go. So our next recipe is going to be the Asian salad. So the only things we have to work on there, this is our beautiful Napa cabbage. And what I thought was funny, I made one at home that you'll see in just a little bit. When I took this off, this is what we use for tomato plants. So when I put my tomato plants up and I put them around the little stakes, then I thought to myself, look at all this free stuff. So anything you take from the grocery store, think to yourself, what else could I use it for? And again, with the bags, I keep all these bags. So when it's time to put our organic material, I'll put it in here. You can even put them in your car, and that's my trash bag. So I keep it next to me. So that's what I do. I try whatever comes into my house, I want to use it one more time. At least I feel better if I do that. All right, so our Napa cabbage. So we're going to quarter it and chop it into 1 inch pieces. We're going to wash it, and then we're going to spin it. So anybody used a spinner before?
I have, I think.
Have you? These are fun. This is like a salad spinner. So we'll do it in like shifts, but this is fun. So I love this little salad spinner. So again, I'm going to take off my cool little thing that I'll take home. And now I don't have to buy as much at Morrison's for my tomatoes. This is a little bit smaller. And I'm just going to core this, and then I'm going to pass it to you guys. And then I'm going to cut it into 1-inch pieces, okay? So there's not much of a core, but I'm going to cut straight through like this. And again, where am I going to put this?
In there.
Right, organic material, perfect. And I'm going to look at it to see, this looks a little, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, so I might just cut this off. Because again, you want your guests to look at something and go, that looks delicious, and not like, what happened there? This one too, I like the look of that one. I don't like that at all. Well, it's just because it, again, we'd have to think about, I talk about growing your grocery list if you have the opportunity to grow things that you're going to eat, like lettuce, arugula, things like that, and not eating things out of season. So if you can go to a farmer's market, that's always the best thing to do, because you're having produce that's right around the corner being grown and not being trucked or flown all over the world. So, everybody would love a pineapple in January, but do we really need a pineapple in January? That's the problem. So we become very reliant on having whatever we want when we want, which is a bit of a problem. All right, so I'm going to split this, and I'm going to split it again, and then you guys are going to chop it up, and we'll find a nice bowl to put this in. See, it's really pretty, right? So our salad really doesn't have many components that we're cooking, but when it gets to be summertime, you want healthy, yummy things. So I'm going to give each of you guys 2 of these, and all you're going to do is cut down 1 inch.
Okay.
Okay? So they're coming your way. I'm going to bring one over here, and then I'll bring yours right next door. So again, you just want the pieces to look like this when you're done, and you can split it up and take your time. So you have to start right there beneath the guide. And again, I'll bring you yours. So the Napa cabbage, that's a good cabbage. It's nice and healthy. And then if you think this is a little too rough, you can get rid of it and put it right in here. When you're done, you're going to put it right there. And I'll work on these little pieces. And then after that, we are going to wash it all. So you know what? I'm going to bring the colander over. So we'll pop it all into the colander for now. There you go. Give it a nice wash. Because you have to watch, especially with leafy greens like this, you really have to be careful. And you want to give it a good wash just to make sure we don't have anything foreign on it. We doing all right over there? That was a tough one. Giving you some resistance. What kind of salads do you guys like? Is Caesar salad a favorite?
I like that.
I do too. What about spinach salad? Anybody like spinach salad? Not as much?
I don't think I've ever had it.
Yeah, I like spinach cooked. I don't like it raw. And kale salad, that's not my favorite either. And so this recipe, which I can tell you the ingredients, didn't have anything else except Napa cabbage in it and scallions. And I thought to myself, I think we need some color, because to me, those 2 things aren't enough in a salad. So I could have done red pepper, but red pepper this time of year is really tricky. And that's one of the vegetables you have to watch for pesticides. So I decided to do carrots, because you can get some yummy organic carrots right now. So I put these in my little food processor. So we'll add carrots to it just for some color. Doing all right over there, a couple more pieces. And then we'll wash it and then we'll spin it. And if you don't have a spinner, once you wash it, you can lay out all your leafy greens on just a towel and let it dry. Good. So Kate, if you want to take that, we'll take that over to the sink.
Okay.
And we'll just run the water over it. And then we'll bring it back and we'll pop it in here for a little bit. We just have scallions as our last chopping thing. And I can put this right in here as well. Let me bring it closer for you. There you go. I have a bench scraper too, which is kind of fun. It does help get stuff off. I think the one that Marsha had for you guys for your cutting boards, they folded over and you could drop them in that way. Mine's not like that. Good. So here we go. Pop it right here. It's a little wet, but that's all right. Just be careful, you guys, because we have water on the floor now, which is fine, but we just have to remember. And sometimes, wait, I have another towel. Hold on, where's my other towel? Somewhere. Well, we'll just use this. And we'll put it underneath it. Oh, I could use that one. And that'll hold the water a little bit. So with this contraption, which I think is really fun, you just grab a handful. And once we spin it, we'll put it into the big bowl because that's going to be our Asian salad bowl. This isn't too wet, so that's good. So you just pop it right on top like that. And you go like this. So spin it a few times. And then it's like a centrifuge, so the water spins out. Perfect. I think it's nice and dry. So just pop the top off. And now pick this up and just put it into the big blue bowl. And that's good. You see all the water that came off? Great. We can do it again. And that's a really helpful thing in the summer when you have lots of lettuce or spinach or arugula. And you just want to spin it out. That's what you call it, spin it out. Because as we know, greens grow in the ground, and that's dirt. I think it's great that people invent things like this for us, you know. Make our life easier. And one more time, and that should do it for our Asian salad. All right, so the last thing we're going to chop is going to be our scallions. So I washed the scallions already, and I know you folks had a little scallion lesson with Marsha. Do you remember? I think you did it with the fajitas, right? So I'll give you each 3. And again, you always start right here, and you're going to get rid of this little guy here. That goes in there. And then there's one little part underneath that you want to also say goodbye to. It's the first roll down there. And then you can cut up to about there. You usually cut to right about here. All right, so the first thing is get rid of, this is the root.
This?
No, so we'll chop this once we're done with getting rid of our 2 little root guys.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and then there's one little layer I always take off. Again, we're trying to protect ourselves just in case there's any type of...
I don't know.
Wow, you did great. So the 3, I usually put 3 all together and go right down the line, but you want to look also, we talked a little bit about the first layer. See this first layer? He can come right off and he can go in the bowl.
I don't like to cut it off.
You can do that too, either way. Yep, so we always get the root and then take the first layer and then chop, chop, chop. And we can put that right into that bowl as well because it's all going to go in there. Yep, so like that should be about a 1/4 inch or 1/8 of an inch, so not a big amount. So the good part's going to go in there into that looks good. Yep, I put it right in there. And we want to cut them up a little bit, like 1/8 of an inch. Yep, I agree with you taking that off. That's perfect. Again, we think about our guests, their mouth feel. You don't want them to eat anything that they don't want to taste. So nothing too big, nothing too funny, nothing that's just not appropriate. So we try to chop things up so your guest is like, this is delicious.
Get that off.
I think you're fine.
Yeah.
I think now he's ready just to chop and pop in. And I can get rid of this. This was just fun. And if you want to use the part from here to here, and not, this is going to be a little rougher and a little bit more intense tasting. This is usually the part that's the best to use in a recipe. So from the white to a little bit to the dark.
So here.
Yep. So I would do this to here, and this, the rest of it's going to go into the bowl. Perfect.
Like that.
I think that's good. And that can go into our delicious Asian salad recipe. I couldn't think of the name of it. So in my house, I grow chives, and the chives come back every year. They're about to flower, big purple flowers. So I don't have scallions in my garden, but I have chives. So I just interchangeably use those. And I also have something called walking onions. Does anybody know what walking onions are?
No.
It's called an Egyptian onion or walking onion. So the bulb goes in the ground, it goes straight up, and then more bulbs form on the top. They fall back down again into the ground. So it looks like the onion's walking, which is kind of fun. So that stuff can go right in there. Yep, perfect. Alrighty, so the last thing we're going to add are carrots for color, because I thought we needed a little bit of fun. So anybody can, you can each put half in, or you can put the whole thing in, Kate.
Do you want to do some more?
So just, yeah, you can use your hands to put half in and half in. We just want to get it over there, just to brighten it up a little bit. Because the only other thing we're going to add is it's almonds and sesame seeds, and then chicken. And the chicken is a rotisserie chicken from BJ's. So you can't beat the price. It's $4.99. It's a big rotisserie chicken. I think it's 3 pounds. So that I took care of at my house, because it's a very messy endeavor breaking apart a chicken in public. You want to do that at home so no one sees you. It's a little messy. And the other thing I was thinking to myself, because I do have a tendency to change recipes, is if you didn't want to put sesame seeds and almonds, because almonds can be expensive, you could put peanuts in this recipe and it'd be just as good. It's a nice, crunchy, yummy thing. And Asian, lots of Asian things, if you've made pad thai or something like that, you could put nuts in. They're just regular peanuts, and I think that's a good idea. All right, good. So why don't we make the dressing next, because that'll give us a little time to have it sit for a minute, and then we'll do our sauteing. Remember, there's water on the floor, you guys, so just be careful. All right. So this is where we get to measure yummy stuff. So I thought I could call out the ingredients and you guys could put them together into our jar. Does that work for you?
Yes.
Perfect. Here's the vessel we're going to put it in. And I was also thinking, as I tend to think a lot, you could double the recipe too. So if you double the recipe, you might want to have half for this recipe and then think to yourself, maybe I'll make pad thai and use, or something else, and use this dressing again. So I keep a lot of these are just mason jars. A lot of people put drinks in them and drink instead of having to have plastic cups. I don't know if our thing's leaking, but we'll see. Okay.
Oh, looks
like it's leaking a little bit, but we'll be okay. All right, so I'm going to read this recipe and we'll get all this stuff over there. So and I usually put it like an oil in, and then I put an acid in, whatever vessel I'm in, and that'll clear out. So I don't leave it in the measuring cup. All right, so we've got red wine vinegar, we've got low sodium soy sauce, we've got toasted sesame oil, which is delicious but expensive, so we use that sparingly, and then olive oil. So we're going to put it all in here, and we'll shake it up. All right, so we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The first thing we need to, oh, and we need sugar. Hold on, I'm coming. All right. So we need sugar as well. So we need a 1/4 cup of sesame oil. So here's our vessel for the measuring. And you have to go down pretty low. Can you see the 1/4 cup? I don't have my glasses on, but I'm pretty sure it's right there. And sesame oil, I love the smell of it. If you're ever going to make anything Asian, you want a tablespoon of that because it tastes delicious. Keep going, I think. I think it has to go. I can't see because I don't have my glasses on. But we think it's right there, right?
Yes.
Because this is a 1 cup measuring cup, so the 1/4 cup would be right there. It's looking good. I think we made it, right? Can you see the 1/4 cup?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we'll put the cover on that and then go right in here. Nice. And then I usually put an acid in next, meaning I put a vinegar or a soy sauce, and that helps to clear out the oil that's in there. So the next thing I'm going to put in is a 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. Perfect. You'll do 2 and then you can finish it off. Yeah. And again, we'll do the 1/4 cup.
It's on the other side.
I know, isn't it tricky? And I wish we used milliliters, but we don't.
Mm-hmm.
But we still on everything.
It's tricky.
It is tricky.
I think that's good.
Looks good to me. All right, so the next thing is we need, what did we put into her? We didn't do the olive oil, right?
No.
All right, so a 1/4 cup of olive oil. So that's the olive oil. There we go. And the soy sauce is going to be tablespoons. And sugar's tablespoon as well. I know, isn't it hard? I forget to bring my glasses. But you'll help me, right? You'll tell me when to stop. All right, I think that's a 1/4 cup, I'm going to guess. Does it look like it? We all agree? Great. That's going to go right in there. You take your time. There you go. And now 2 tablespoons of low sodium soy. So the low sodium just means it's got less salt. Yep, get every little bit.
There we go.
Good job. So this is your soy sauce, and I'll hold this right over it, and then you can pop it in. We're going to do 2 tablespoons.
One.
It should come out a little faster. I can open it. Oh, there you go. Yep. No, a little bit more. We're going to fill this twice. That's a tablespoon.
2.
All the way to the top. Keep coming. And more. Maybe shake it a little. There you go. All right, I'm going to dump them in, and then one more. Shake, shake, shake. Oh, good. Nice. A little bit more. It's going to give it the Asian flair. You need the soy sauce. Perfect. Great. And then the last thing we're going to use is our sugar. So 1 tablespoon of sugar. You want to pop that in, Kate, or you can do it here. It doesn't matter. We're going to just take this and we're going to scoop 1 tablespoon and pop it in. A little bit more, a tiny bit more. You want it to be a level tablespoon. And just dump the whole thing in. And you can actually, if you want to push it around a little bit, it'll come off if you do that. Yep, perfect. There you go, nicely done. So that's our dressing. And now you can put the cover on it and just shake it up a little bit. If we can find it. Yeah, there we go. There you go. So we'll do a little.
Shake it? Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Shake. So that's a good thing to do. When I made mine that I brought here, I did the dressing yesterday. So it can kind of emulsify and just kind of, because you want the sugar to dissolve. You don't want to taste the sugar. You don't want it to be crunchy because that would be like a strange thing. All right, good job. It looks like a salad all of a sudden, which is wonderful. All right, we'll let it sit for a little bit. So why don't we attempt to do our sesame and almond saute. And I have one here just in case things go wrong. It should be fine. It said to put it in the oven, but I didn't want to put it in the oven. I never would put nuts in the oven because I'm too afraid that it's just going to go too fast and burn. So we're going to do it on the top of the stove. So we're going to measure sesame seeds and almonds, and we're just going to saute them in this pan with a wooden spoon. Sound good? Mm-hmm. So, all right, we'll put those in and give it a try. And the color should look like this when we're done. So it's just a tiny bit of brown in the sesame seeds as well. So let's see what we can do. So we have sesame seeds, which I don't know how we got the biggest package known to man, but that's a lot of sesame seeds. But that's what they had at the market basket. And so I think we need a 1/4 cup of both. So you can put that in. Let me just confirm. Oh, 1/8. So we have a 1/4 cup of the sliced almonds that'll go here. And I think the 1/4 cup is right there. And then 1/8 of a cup of the sesame seeds, which will just be half of that cup. I'm going to save our rubber bands too. Right? Save everything. Use it again.
Is that good?
Yep, that's great. Just pop it right in here. And then 1/8 of a cup of the sesame seeds. So use that same 1/4 cup and just fill it halfway because I don't have 1/8 of a cup.
Do you want to do it or do you want me to?
I can do it.
Perfect. I'm trying to think how I think I used that. You might, if you want to, or put it over the pan, either way. So just halfway because that's a 1/4 cup and we're just doing 1/8.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, that's perfect. I'm trying to think to myself what else because I use sesame seeds. I could make sesame brittle, like peanut brittle, but sesame brittle because it's a lot of sesame seeds. Good. All right, so we'll turn this stove on, which I've never used, so we'll give it a try. That's the right one, I'm going to guess. And the operation's just to get this color to be a little bit brown. Oh, look at that. Holy smokes. All right. So just keep stirring it because you don't want it to burn. And so the nuts both have, the sesame seeds and the nuts both have an oil in them, and that's why you don't put an oil in. The oil itself is what's going to make it cook. So we're doing okay on our recipe. The last thing's going to after that, we're going to add the chicken. We'll do the dressing, and then we'll put that on top. We're doing great. Mm-hmm. We are. It's going to be delicious. Then I have an extra salad. So all of our friends who work here can come and have a little bite too. I have to-go containers too, just in case you want to take it home. Yep, just keep moving it around. That's all you can do. And I think it's on low enough. And if you think it's too high, we can turn it down a smidge.
I think it's okay.
I think it's all right. Good. Let's see if I can take this guy out. You have to let it melt before you can pop him in. Oops, yep, he's good. I think everybody wants the lavender soda. That's all we're thinking about, right? We're like, lavender soda. That'll be so good. It is.
No way. It's making me hungry.
That? Yeah, the almonds are yummy. And that was, that's a slivered almond. You could use a sliced almond, whatever almonds you wanted to use. Or nuts. Any peanut would work. It's looking good, but is it this color yet? That's the question.
No.
No. So we have to wait a little bit longer. Just keep moving it. Keep moving it. It's like popcorn. You gotta keep moving it. And then it's magic when it explodes. It's getting there.
It is.
Yep. And all of a sudden it'll turn. Patience, right? That's what cooking's all about. It smells good.
It does.
Smells like something's happening over there. I see some color.
Me too.
Yep. Yep. You can hear it too, how it pops. The sesame seeds they're cooking. So as a chef, you have to use all your senses, right? Smell, taste, how you see what's happening. Looks pretty good. Let's see. Almost there. Oh, it's popping. It's jumping out. Nice. What's the consensus? A little bit longer?
I think so.
Okay. Getting pretty close. Perfect. You're doing a very good job. You're being very consistent moving it around. Because as soon as you turn away, this isn't the time to do the dishes. This is the time to stay right here and look at it. Because as soon as you turn away, it's like, oh. All right, I think you're 99.9% done.
It's fun.
Sauteing is fun. All right, I think I turned the heat off. I think it's over. If we could find how to do it. I didn't. So you can move your pan maybe back just a little bit because it'll still cook even because the burning's very hot. Yep, and just let it cool. Perfect. So we're going to put, ooh, see? He's jumping out. He's still cooking. So we'll put our chicken in next, And then we'll put our delicious dressing. We'll mix it all up with tongs. And then we'll put our lovely mixture of the sesame seeds and our almonds. And then we'll pop those things out for people to taste. We'll finish our infused water. And we have cans of soda water with the lavender syrup, and people can try that. Sound good? We're in good shape. We did a great job. I think we did. Yeah. All right, so we'll scoot this over. I'm going to clean up a smidge and get this out of here. So if you want to put that right in on the top, that's our chicken. So that's, again, I used just the white meat because I had the option to use the white or the thigh, and I wanted to use the white because there was so much meat. Perfect. And then the next step will be to put our dressing on. So we can scooch that around and then pour it over it. And then Kate, if you want to be the person to just spin it around with the tongs. I use tongs for a lot of things. It's a nice. Yep, pour it all around. We're in a big circle. Every drops out.
Yep.
And just scooch till the dressing's all mixed in. Because that's really all we have for our salad, and then just our little nuts. And we'll finish this one too. So when everybody takes their scoop, they're going to get the chicken, they're going to get the Napa cabbage, they're going to get scallions, and they're going to get carrot, and then our delicious nuts on top. And it's nice that these will be warm. I like a little bit of warmth on a salad. Well, it looks yummy.
It does.
Doesn't it? And healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's even better.
Is that good?
I think it is. And I'm just going to slide this right on top. And I think I'll leave these on top. I'm not going to mix them in. So when people come to get their salad, they'll have a little bit of this right on top. And those are perfectly done. See how nice the color is? Good. So we'll put this out just like that. And then we're going to finish our other one because we brought one with us. And we'll put our nuts on this one. Because you never can have enough, right? All these hungry people. So that's the one I made at home. So that was our other one. If you want to put the nuts on, just, oh, I have either ones. Here, use these nuts. These are another set of nuts. And you can just shake that. And that's already has the dressing on it. Perfect. And I'm sure you could put salt and pepper on it. The recipe didn't call for salt and pepper, but I'm sure you could do that as well. So that looks pretty good. We've got two salads that are the same. And then we're going to finish off our water and then get our lavender soda water ready to go. So this is just the little thing I froze at home, and this will just keep it cold as well. So if I didn't have ice, I could make a bunch of these big ones, and these are like an ice circle. And it's got the cucumber, the mint, and lemon in it. So I'm going to pop that in. And then we'll get our lavender soda water ready to go too. Bloop. I think we've got a leak. I think we might have to say goodbye to that vessel. I think it's leaking. Okay, so the lavender is a syrup. And it looks just like this. And then we'll get some ice and some soda water. And everybody can, why don't we try one and then we'll let our guests try some. And if we were in our backyard and we had lavender, we'd put a sprig of lavender in each of these drinks. But we don't have that. Wouldn't that be pretty? So I think we'll do this. So we'll try it and then we'll let our friends try it too. So I think we'll do this. Thank you. I like to be consistent, so 3 for everybody. I'm just going to grab some soda water. which I put somewhere, right there, which I put over here. And then, so for this, I'm just going to put a little bit in, and you guys can try the same thing. I'm just going to scooch this in like this, if you each want to do one as well, and then I'll just add the soda water. And if we had mint left over, we could put the mint in. You could add a little of that to it too. So any type of a syrup like this, it's going to have sugar in it, because that's how it became a syrup. And if you made simple syrup, that's all it is sugar and water, and then any type of an herb. All right, shall we toast to our fantastic cooking class?
Sure.
Yay, CapeCodCAN cooks, yay. What do you think?
That's
Good, right? Yeah, it's really delicious.
Now let me see.
You like it? Yeah, me too. It's very good. So now we can serve our guests. You can have something to drink. I think we've come to the conclusion of this program today, and we've had a wonderful time. Nice job, everybody. I hope you make it at home.